What's going on, guys? Lately I've been watching, for some reason, several documentaries on cults. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I am fascinated with cult documentaries. Trust me, it's nothing you have to worry about. I find it fascinating because I'm into a lot of things dealing with human psychology and how someone completely sane, completely normal allows someone to overtake their free will, change their very personality, and ultimately convince them that that group is the only thing that matters. I guess from just my quirky sense of wanting to study human behavior, I think watching documentaries about cults kind of intrigued me. So I think that how I grew up thinking about cults, I thought about drinking the Kool-Aid and have everyone commit mass suicide. And that was like the cult kind of behavior. Yeah, that's the extreme version of it, but cults are more sophisticated than that. I just want to make sure that you guys are being safe and you kind of know or have some type of an idea if you're in a cult. Because God knows I've definitely visited a couple of cults and I had no idea at the time. So, number one, if any organization that you're a part of have policies that make you feel unsafe if you were to let other people know about what you're involved in, it's a bit of a red flag. That pretty much narrows down quite a few groups. I mean, you have fraternity organizations, you have corporate organizations that make you sign documents, and they can kind of classify it as, non-competes, and they don't want their competition to take any trade secrets or intellectual property. Well, we'll give you that one. But red flag number two, observe how the people of the organization speak to the leader. Is there a certain reverence that they give to the leader that's uncalled for? Do they stand up every single time that this person walks into the room? Do they change their demeanor, their tone, their personality? Do they instantly go into this state of panic or worship, if you will? Do they treat this man or woman more than a human? Another red flag. When it comes to money, does it seem like all the money is being funneled to the top while everyone at the bottom is lacking? Is there any evidence of financial scandal that shows more of a pyramid scheme? The leader has his frontmen who he might employ, who he might have as volunteers, but give them some type of high status or hierarchy compared to everyone else. He uses them to recruit other people underneath them. And then those people teach their people how to do the same thing. And then the cycle continues and continues and continues. But all the money somehow funnels up to the top. It never gets distributed. Is it hard for you to speak to the leader? And I know that, of course, big organizations, it's hard to get in touch with leaders and stuff like that. But when I mean hard to talk to them, does it feel like they are avoiding you? There's something they're hiding. Are they unwilling to talk to their people? They want you to kind of bow to them. How do you feel when people leave? Do you automatically ignore them or shun them? Do they stop being your friend as soon as they leave the group? Are you afraid to leave? Meaning, if you left, would that change your family relationships? Would it change your friendships? Would it change your income? Is your free will in jeopardy if you choose not to comply with their bylaws? When's the last time you spoke to your real family? Are you allowed to speak to your family? Are you allowed to hang out with your friends? When was the last time you hung out with your friends? When's the last time you took a phone call, answered a text message? When was the last time you were available on a Friday or Saturday night? Do you spend 90% of your time with this group? Do you have to check in with them regularly? Has he or she ever made you feel uncomfortable when it came down to any type of, I don't know, sexual advances? I'm bringing these scenarios up to allow you to make your own conclusions. But it is necessary to have these kind of conversations because given the fact that we are living in a world full of nonprofit, quote unquote, religious organizations, it's super easy for them to get away with a lot. And it's sad when I see innocent people afraid to speak out, afraid to leave because their livelihood is in jeopardy. You've been working for a church for over 25 years and you've seen a lot of stuff go down. But this is the way you fed your family all these years, and you don't want to be shunned. You don't want to lose everything you worked for. Retirement's on the way. You're afraid to say anything. I just want to free you today. I want you to sit with yourself and the Creator and realize that they are not your source. They are not your God. You don't have to fear them. And I want you to understand that cults are nothing more than artificial community. It's an illusion. It's made up. It's someone's deception. They want you to feel like you're a family. They want you to feel like you're a part of this kingdom community when really they're benefiting off of you. They're making you feel like you are being elevated, like you're going to be the next one up. Oh, you stick with me for a while, I'll give you your own congregation. Stick with me for a little longer. Do this one thing for me. Keep your mouth closed about this. And before you know it, I'll pay you a salary you thought you could never have. What does it profit someone to gain the world and lose their soul? Losing your soul means that you're losing yourself. You're losing who you are, your own free will, your persona. You've allowed this other human to capture the very essence of what made you you. Don't let them do that to you. You're better than that. I think I'm so passionate about exposing lies that I forget about the people that are being victimized. And I need to stop worrying about monsters that are causing this and focus on you. Focus on the person that logged on to this video. It's me and you today. It's us. It's this safe space. I don't care about what's out there. You decided to come here. And for some reason, you're staying on this video and it's resonating with you. We don't have to worry about the noise out there. You're in a safe space. And I think this is what I'm going to be doing. I think I want to create an atmosphere for however long, whether it be 5 minutes, whether it be an hour, whether it be 2 hours. In the moment that we're in, I want us to be present. And one day we can gather up enough courage to say enough is enough. Yes, we forgive them for what they did, but we don't have to take it anymore. Yes, we forgive them for them doing that to our family member, but we don't have to take it anymore. We can leave. We don't have to stay. You were a victim in that situation. It wasn't your fault. And the minute you understand that for yourself, the minute you understand that that leader misled you, he deceived you, and he put Jesus in front of you, that was not God. You walked away from God because of him, but God never left you. He never shunned you. He never said that you weren't good enough. As a matter of fact, you told God that you don't want nothing to do with him. But guess what? He's crazy about you. You know how many times I yelled?
Fine! The gloves are off, pal! Come on, let me see a little wrath. Smite me, oh mighty smiter! The only one around here not doing his job is you! Answer me!
I literally got so frustrated because I'm like, How do you allow all of these people to be so successful and they just basically mocking you and they're successful? I don't understand. Do you reward your own people? Like, do you just allow other people to win and all your people lose? Like, I was just like, when I was in that moment of just complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining, then I realized that of course they're going to win in their kingdom. This is temporary. This is an illusion. I get stressed out about things when I forget that this is all fake. All of this is fake. We're taught to live the American dream. What is the American dream? When was the last time you dreamed and you woke up and realized it wasn't real? The American dream is an illusion. And the most richest people on the planet have nobody. They wish they were poor if it meant that they could see their daughter again. If it means they could see their son again. If it means that they can have a relationship with their spouse that divorced them. I realized that I was chasing so much that I realized I got all I need right now. I got all I need. Whether this channel takes off or not, I just want people to be free. I've seen so many people want to be famous, and when they get famous, they don't even want it no more. I really have to address something, specifically in the Black evangelical church. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm actually going to address a spirit, and that spirit is greed. It needs to be said because I'm seeing it more and more. I'm actually hoping that it will awaken a conviction in certain people. Maybe they didn't even know that they were coming across this way. Maybe that's just how they saw ministry all their life, and they say, when I get older and I learn more, I want to be just like that person. And maybe it came from a good place, but just in case it didn't, I want you to understand that you're hurting us. It's bad enough that as African Americans, we were brutalized with the Bible and Christianity. And it took nothing but God himself to renew our minds about who he really is. You have to remember that the same time a sermon and worship was going on in a sanctuary, our ancestors were below the floors, vomiting, crying, asking for help, screaming for their life, and no one cared. We came from that to now being able to worship wherever we want, not have to worry about people busting down our doors and attempting to lynch us. But now I'm seeing that we have gotten comfortable. Instead of being victims, we are now victimizing ourselves. I'm saying this for the public. If any member of your congregation trusts you with their money, tithing 10% of their income, tithing 10% of their gross income to you, and they can't barely afford to pay their rent, can barely afford to put food on the table for their children, you have a responsibility not to rub it in their face by wearing clothing that costs more than what they make in a month. I'm gonna let that sit there. You all know who you are. God isn't mocked. He's not pleased with that. You can rationalize that the money's not coming from your organization. You can rationalize and say, hey, I was a businessman before I had this church and now it's doing well. But let's just say this. If it wasn't for your church, you wouldn't have any customers. I respectfully warn you, you will be exposed one day. Not by just, a random YouTuber or podcaster. But if you don't stop, just like many others, you will be exposed. It will be because God wants you to be exposed. The organization of church right now is becoming a business model. A business model for people who want to prey on innocent, spiritually blind people. I just want my people to wake up. I really do. I don't want you to forsake the assembly of the church. I don't want you to feel like you have to go rogue and not have community. I think community is great. But you have to open your eyes and see that you don't need to be a part of a cult. They're not bigger than you. They're not better than you. They are the same. They're using you. If you are paying them and they are not helping you, they're using you.